Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Or if you are here for the first time, I am happy you are here. Today we will talk about a man who became one of the most famous leaders in the world. A man known for business, television, and finally politics. Yes, we are talking about Donald J. Trump, the story of a boy born in New York who dreamed big and grew up to become the 45th President of the United States. So let's start from the very beginning. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946. He was born in Queens, New York City. His father was Fred Trump, a successful real estate developer. His mother was Mary Ann, a Scottish immigrant. Donald was the fourth of 5 children in the family. His father built houses and apartments for middle-class families. So Donald grew up around the world of construction and business. As a child, Donald was full of energy and confidence. But sometimes he also got into trouble at school. His parents decided to send him to a military academy. They thought this would give him discipline and focus. At the academy, Donald became good at sports and leadership. He was active in baseball and football. Teachers noticed he had a competitive spirit. Donald always wanted to win and be the best. After graduating from the academy, he went to college. First, he studied at Fordham University for 2 years. Then he transferred to the Wharton School of Finance at the University of Pennsylvania. There, he studied economics and business. In 1968, he graduated with a degree in economics. While at Wharton, he learned about real estate and investments. He was inspired by his father's success in real estate. Donald decided he would also join the family business. In the early 1970s, he started working with his father. The business was called Elizabeth Trump and Son. It focused on building and managing apartments in New York. Donald wanted to expand the business and make it bigger. He had bigger dreams than just small apartments. He wanted to build skyscrapers and luxury properties in Manhattan. He wanted to put his name on buildings. Donald believed branding was the key to success. In 1971, Donald moved to Manhattan to chase his dream. He started looking for big projects and opportunities. His first big success was the renovation of the Grand Hyatt Hotel. The hotel project gave him recognition and attention. After that, he became known as a rising real estate star. In 1977, he married Ivana Zelníková, a model from Czechoslovakia. Together, they had 3 children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. Donald's family life looked perfect from the outside. At the same time, his business empire was also growing. He built Trump Tower, a 58-story skyscraper in Manhattan. Trump Tower became his signature building with his name in gold letters. It became a symbol of wealth, power, and luxury. By the 1980s, Donald Trump was a celebrity businessman. He appeared in magazines, newspapers, and even television shows. People saw him as the face of success and confidence. He enjoyed being in the spotlight and talking to the media. Donald wanted the world to know his name. And soon, the name Trump became a global brand. In the 1980s, Donald Trump reached the height of fame. He expanded his business into casinos, hotels, and airlines. He bought the Plaza Hotel in New York City. He built casinos in Atlantic City, including the famous Trump Taj Mahal. He also created Trump Airlines with luxury services. Donald loved big deals and flashy projects. He always wanted to show that he was the best. The media followed his every move. He became a symbol of wealth and power in America. People admired his bold personality and confidence. But not everything went smoothly in his empire. By the early 1990s, Donald faced serious financial problems. The economy was weak and the real estate market was down. His casinos were losing money and debt was growing. At one point, Donald was almost $1 billion in debt. Many people thought his career was over. They believed he would never recover from this crisis. But Donald refused to give up. He negotiated with banks and creditors to survive. Slowly, he rebuilt his business step by step. He learned the importance of resilience in hard times. This struggle made him even more determined. By the late 1990s, Donald was back in the spotlight. He had new projects and a stronger brand. In 2004, he launched a new television show. The show was called The Apprentice. It quickly became a massive hit in America. Millions of people watched Donald say his famous words, "You're fired." The show made him a household name. It showed him as a tough but smart businessman. Through television, Donald reached a whole new audience. People saw him not just as a businessman, but also as a celebrity. His brand grew stronger and more powerful. Trump Tower and his name were now global symbols. He licensed his brand to buildings, golf courses, and products. The name Trump appeared on hotels and towers around the world. By the 2000s, Donald Trump was richer and more famous than ever. He lived in luxury and enjoyed the spotlight. But deep inside, he still had one more dream. A dream to move from business and entertainment to politics. He started talking about America's problems in interviews. He criticized leaders and said the country needed strong direction. Some people laughed at him and did not take him seriously, but others began to support his bold ideas. Donald realized that maybe his next chapter was politics. The world was about to see a new side of Donald Trump. In 2015, Donald Trump made a bold announcement. He declared that he was running for President of the United States. Many people thought it was a joke. They believed he was only seeking attention. But Donald was very serious about his decision. He promised to make America great again. That slogan became famous all over the country. He spoke directly to the American people. He said politicians had failed to protect ordinary citizens. He talked about jobs, trade borders, and national security. His speeches were simple, direct, and emotional. Many people felt he was speaking their language. He connected with millions who felt ignored. But he also created controversy with his strong words. The media covered every rally and every statement. Other candidates laughed at him in the beginning, but soon they realized he was winning support. Crowds grew larger and enthusiasm grew stronger. By 2016, he had defeated many experienced politicians. He became the Republican candidate for president. The world was shocked to see this happen. The election against Hillary Clinton was tough and dramatic. Most experts predicted Donald Trump would lose, but he surprised the entire world. In November 2016, Donald Trump won the election. He became the 45th President of the United States. It was one of the most unexpected victories in history. Supporters celebrated while critics were in disbelief. Donald had achieved what many thought was impossible. He had moved from businessman to television star to president. His journey showed the power of persistence and confidence. As president, he promised to put America first. He started changing policies on trade and immigration. He challenged international agreements and made bold decisions. His leadership style was direct and unconventional. Some people loved his strength and courage. Others criticized his tone and decisions. But one thing was clear: he had changed politics forever. Donald Trump's presidency became one of the most discussed in history. Every day the news was filled with his actions. He dominated headlines and global conversations. Supporters saw him as a fighter for the people. Opponents saw him as too aggressive and divisive. But no one could ignore his impact on the world. He had become one of the most powerful figures on Earth. Donald Trump faced many challenges during his presidency. He had to deal with political opposition every single day. The media often criticized his decisions and policies. But Donald continued to push forward with determination. He worked on strengthening the American economy quickly. Jobs were created and unemployment rates went down. He lowered taxes for businesses and workers alike. Many Americans felt more confident about their future. But at the same time, controversies grew even stronger. His immigration policies created protests and debates everywhere. He built parts of the border wall with Mexico. This action made him popular with some and hated by others. Donald believed strong borders meant a safer America. He also changed trade deals with many countries. His focus was always on America First policies. This message connected with millions of loyal supporters. But critics argued he was dividing the nation. In 2020, the world faced a major crisis. The coronavirus pandemic spread across the globe quickly. Donald Trump had to respond to this challenge. He closed borders and supported vaccine development efforts. But the pandemic created fear and economic troubles worldwide. His leadership during this time was heavily questioned. Supporters said he acted quickly to protect lives. Critics argued he did not do enough. The nation became more divided than ever before. Later in 2020, he ran for re-election. His opponent was Joe Biden, the former vice president. The election was one of the most heated ever. Millions of people voted in person and by mail. In the end, Joe Biden won the presidency. Donald Trump did not accept the results immediately. He claimed the election had many irregularities and fraud. This created huge debates across America and the world. His supporters held massive rallies to show loyalty, but his critics demanded a peaceful transfer of power. Finally, in January 2021, Joe Biden took office. Donald Trump left the White House, but not politics. He promised that his movement was just beginning. Supporters continued to follow him with great passion. Even outside office, he remained a powerful figure. He influenced political debates and decisions across the nation. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump stayed relevant. His journey from businessman to president inspired millions worldwide. It showed that determination can change the course of history. After leaving the White House, Donald Trump did not disappear. He continued to hold rallies across the United States. His supporters filled stadiums to hear him speak. He repeated his message of making America great again. Trump also spoke strongly about election integrity and fairness. He claimed that the system needed major reforms. Many Americans believed in his words and stayed loyal. Critics, however, said he was spreading misinformation and division. But Donald Trump thrived on challenges and controversies. He announced that he might run again for president. This announcement shook the political world completely. Supporters became excited and opponents became worried instantly. Trump's influence on the Republican Party remained very strong. Most candidates needed his support to win elections. His endorsement could make or break political careers. This showed how powerful he still was outside office. Trump also focused on building his business empire again. He launched new projects and media platforms boldly. He wanted to create alternatives to mainstream networks. His voice stayed alive on television and online. Even without Twitter and Facebook, he found ways. Millions followed him on his new platforms regularly. His speeches continued to dominate American politics and media. Meanwhile, legal challenges began to grow around him. Investigations were launched into his finances and presidency. Some tried to stop him from returning to politics. But Trump always fought back with confidence and energy. He described these investigations as political witch hunts. Supporters agreed and stood by him with loyalty. This battle made him even more popular with many. Trump's ability to survive scandals impressed his followers greatly. They saw him as a fighter who never surrendered. He represented strength, resilience, and defiance against the system. Every move he made kept him in the spotlight. News outlets still covered him almost every single day. World leaders continued to talk about his influence. Donald Trump had become more than a politician. He had become a global symbol of power. Whether people admired him or criticized him, one fact was clear. Trump had forever changed the face of American politics. Donald Trump's journey from a young businessman to president was extraordinary. He faced countless failures, controversies, and endless criticism along the way. But he also inspired millions with his determination and boldness. His story became proof that nothing is impossible with belief. Trump never lived a traditional politician's life or career. Instead, he built his own path in his own style. He turned his brand name into a global empire. Then he turned his political slogan into a national movement. Millions of people connected with his vision and energy. He gave hope to those who felt ignored by the system. At the same time, his leadership deeply divided the country. Some saw him as a hero, while others saw a villain. But whether loved or hated, he could not be ignored. Donald Trump became a figure who changed history forever. Even after leaving office, he remained powerful and relevant. His voice still shaped debates across America and the world. The story of Donald Trump teaches us many lessons. It shows the power of confidence and never giving up. It proves that failure is not the end of success. And it reminds us that courage can change the world. No matter how people remember him, Trump left a legacy. A legacy of ambition, boldness, controversy, and unshakable willpower. He will always be remembered as the 45th president. But more importantly, as a man who never stopped fighting. From real estate to reality television to the White House, Donald Trump's life story will remain one of a kind.